Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have kind of a beginner type video for you about Morgan dollars and about what a difference a mint mark can make. I've got four 1892 Morgan dollars here, all different conditions, and we can talk about that real briefly just as an overview, trying to look at which coins have the most meat left on them and which don't. This isn't necessarily a grading video, but if we're going to go ahead and compare, it's nice to have the coins next to each other so you can kind of look and see what a difference you can have just from grade to grade, but then also what a difference a mint mark makes. So for the collector out there who's really new, the mint mark is where the coin was made or produced, and the mint mark will be above the D and the O and the word dollar on the back of the coin. So this is from the San Francisco Mint. The Philadelphia Mint will not have a mint mark on it, so there's nothing there, zero, zilch. And that's because the Philadelphia Mint was the first U.S. mint, so there was only one mint for a long time, so there's no reason to put a mint mark on stuff. And then you'll have the New Orleans Mint with the big O for New Orleans. I guess they opted against NO for 2. Meanwhile, they have the Carson City Mint, which has a CC, and they didn't just use a C for that. Now, partially because the C Mint mark was already used back before the Civil War. You had a C for the Charlotte Mint, which is a defunct mint. Well, a number of these mints are defunct now, but also it was defunct before the Carson City Mint started. So, sometimes new collectors think that a mint mark, all S mint marks are rare or all certain mint marks are rare. On coins generally, the only mint mark that is usually of more value is the Carson City, and on dollars in particular. On dollars, your Carson City mint mark is always going to add a little bit of value. But, when you get at any given year, you'll see a pretty wide variety of value just in one given year. So this is a full year set, all the 1892 coins, right? So I'm just showing you from the red book here. 1892, they made the Philadelphia Mint, they made the Carson City Mint, the New Orleans, and the San Francisco. And you'll see they all had decent mintages, a million, 1,000,003, 2.7 is a higher mintage, 1.2. And as we go from left to right, what you're seeing here is a representation of things being in better and better condition. So, of course, they start with VF, XF, AU, mint state, and then higher mint state grades, right? So this is your mint state column right here. And you'll see huge value jumps on some of these coins. A lot of times that big value jump is between almost uncirculated and uncirculated. That actually is fairly consistent with most coins. So you'll see this amazing jump here on the 92S. The difference between an AU and an UNC is astronomical. The 92CC has a pretty big jump, and the other two have a more modest jump, the New Orleans and the Philadelphia Mint. So a part of the reason why you see these differences is because of the mintage. But also, you'll notice, well, the 92S and the 92, well, this has a higher mintage, so why is it different? Well, survival rates is really what matters on a lot of this type of stuff, right? So you may look at a coin, and you can't just look at the mintage only. What plays into the price points has to do survival rates in the open marketplace. So realistically, the 1892 from the San Francisco Mint, they made a lot of them. However, being out west, these coins were really used, and so think of all the western states in the 1890s and the commerce that these coins had to supply. So you were going all over the western states with these coins, and they were getting used up and used up and used up. There wasn't quite the same store of wealth that you'd see around the Philadelphia area where people could save coins and had money, right? I mean, there was a different socioeconomic area between the East and the West Coast. Historically, that's just kind of how things grew. For whatever reasons that were in play at the time, that's how the country grew. And that all goes into play into survival rates. And sometimes they actually had big bags of coins survive for a while, but then they melted them down to produce more coins, which I always thought was funny because I always thought, well, don't just release the other coins to the wild, right? So Year's important, and mint mark's important, and conditions important. All of those things are really important when it comes to your overall value on coins. None of these coins are mint state. This one's the closest on the 92cc, which it has a proof-like finish to it. I think maybe you could call it an MS60, which is, well, I guess technically that's a mint state. But it's really, I think, probably a super slider, meaning that's just a terminology, meaning it's an high-end AU. But a very, very frosty coin nonetheless. So, but this same coin in this condition in the Carson City Mint, you know, this could be a $1,000 coin, but if it was the Philadelphia Mint, you know, it would only be maybe a $300 coin at most. You know, and if it's that was probably the New Orleans Mint. New Orleans Mint, you know, it's probably also a $200 coin. Now, if it was the San Francisco, there we go. That's my San Francisco. That is that coin in this condition would be, you know, tens of thousands of dollars for the same coin, different mint mark. So what a difference mint mark makes. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben, the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.